Most of the people that are listening or watching this right now are thinking, okay, I don't have those two functions that are tied at the hip, that there's one person overseeing it. What's your recommendation for a CHRO that's saying, wow, I want the benefits that you're talking about here in terms of how to better collaborate, how to build the relationship, even if there's not one person overseeing everything, but we all know that we can work as teams. So how does a CHRO work better with you as a legal counsel?
One of the best things that I've learned, it's such an underrated skill that people don't realize is that a CHRO knows better than anybody that not every structure works in every organization. So there are instances where it is better to have a CHRO separate and report directly to the CEO. And there's lots of aspects of why that is involved. And as I became CHRO, it's one of those, there's no perfect formula here. There's no perfect sauce. These are the benefits of the structure that I'm in. But there are benefits to having a CHRO and a general counsel separate. That being said, you can, if you have those two separate, there are lots of easy ways to mimic what I'm experiencing as in charge of both. All those things I just mentioned, how the general counsel interacts with the compensation team. A CHRO can develop a rapport with the general counsel about key compensation decisions, about executive comp, especially is a big ticket item, about the importance of work, where compensation is, what's the objectives of the company. And you can set up that interaction where you can still get almost all of the same benefits of it. You just got to set it up correctly with your general counsel. So one way to do it is a CHRO should set out and should examine and try and be proactive about what are the compensation decisions that I think I'm going to encounter as we're going forward. For instance, if your company doesn't have a clear compensation structure and you don't have clear pay grades and band, midpoints and targets, and you have to set that up, my first question to the general counsel is, but here's what I'm thinking. Here's the consultants I'm thinking, or the surveys that I'm going to be using. What are the legal traps that I could fall into as I set up these? Here's all the different aspects of my company and all the different types of employees and departments, and then bring the general counsel in before you even set up the whole structure. Ask the general for questions that you need to get done or things that you should watch out for. As you build your structure, keep the general counsel updated on how you're building your structure, what you're doing. It's the classic, am I missing anything as I'm going through it? You don't have to tell the general counsel the actual compensation level. You can describe what you're doing and the different grades and maybe the proportioning, different changes between each grade without having to give all of the compensation information to the general counsel. But when you include them in that whole process, they feel empowered to be part of it and to work with you on it. And it will help you before you not hit any landmines or traps as you go along